Having an invisible disability is being at school and hearing that if I were to pull any more so-called sickies, I wouldn't be allowed to my high school prom. It's the kids with good health and good attendance receiving vouchers and rewards whilst I was being punished for my time on a children's ward. It's the constant comments, variations of just how lucky I am to be granted deadline extensions. It's healthy people telling me how jealous they are that I have an excuse to get time off work and furlough during a global pandemic. But I just don't feel that blessed to be classed as clinically vulnerable. And special treatment is an odd term that's been thrown my way. It's been used to describe the adjustments that I need to survive. But the only thing I feel entitled to is the equal chance to thrive. So it hurts like an attack on my character. Like favourable treatment is the thing that I'm after. How can people joke that they're envious of me? I have a respiratory system that doesn't work and I'm 23. And I've realised that having an invisible disability is no one taking me seriously and laughing on the occasions I have to prove I'm not exactly healthy. You're young, just wait till you get to my age. But I feel blessed if I make it that far. I've spent the past year isolated and shielding, just to ensure that I keep breathing. I fight for my breath every day, but people tilt their head and say, I don't view you as disabled, don't call yourself that. But disabled isn't a nasty word, and these comments dismiss my identity, because my illness is debilitating. It's invisible, not imaginary. It's chronic, not temporary. It's having flare-ups unexpectedly and being far more likely to suffer with anxiety from the guilt of ringing up ill again. It's knowing I'm not going to be believed. It's the constant pressure put on me to achieve. I try to keep up to keep everyone pleased, but it just worsens my ability to breathe. Because my body can't cope in the same way a non-disabled person's can. I've heard of bets placed on whether I'll show up with no consideration that my lungs are giving up. I see the eye rolls when I turn up late and it makes me feel so much hate, but towards myself. But I know if they went through this, everything they'd planned for the week, they'd give it a miss. So when I talk about my illness, why are the laughs that I'm dramatic? Can't you just take your inhaler if you're just an asthmatic? I wish. In our society, our value is based on productivity and the extent of our capacity to be utilised as tools with a purpose to produce, discarded if you're viewed as out of use. And I live in a body that's out of control, so I'm not the perfect candidate to fit this role. And having an invisible disability is a request for adjustments being denied. It's the subsequent remarks that I seem fine. It's being treated like I'm cheeky, like I've crossed a line. It's feeling unheard, going unseen, it's COVID-19. And suddenly, home access and the things that disabled people had been asking for years with no questions asked were granted to our peers. So reasonable changes have always been possible, but they're only now in motion now COVID's an obstacle. Accessibility now is seen as a requirement, an essential. We're taught that despite the pandemic, everyone should be able to meet their potential. Will the support for adjustments last? Or will it be in a year or two a forgotten thing when COVID's passed? And I know when you look at me, there's no indicators that you can see, no evidence I have a disability. But invisible ones do exist, and when people persist that I look fine, the words etched into this exhausted brain of mine are the words in bold when I Google my position. Details of a reduced quality of life for people with this rare condition.